I worked less hard. I exercised more. I drank less. I played with my kids more, and I made an extra $600,000 on top of the year before, which is kind of freaking awesome. So.
You're listening to Flip Empire, the show committed to helping real estate entrepreneurs who want to build their empire without sacrificing their life. Your success and freedom starts now with your host, Alex Pardo.
One of the things that can connect us, those listening to you and I, is that we're entrepreneurs. Anybody listens to this show, they're an entrepreneur. They want to be an entrepreneur. They want a better life. They want freedom. They want time. You know what it's like to sacrifice, and the blood, sweat, and the tears and the financial sacrifice, everything else that goes into being an entrepreneur. And I want to kind of lead you into how the other areas of your life were affected by the fact that you were so focused and driven on building a successful business. What happened in the pursuit of that?
Yeah, I think I know what you're leading to. And it's kind of interesting. I was trying to build my business, and I started making some money, and I put that into more coaching and more consulting and masterminds. And I joined all sorts of them just to try to grow myself. And that was important to me, and growing my business. And you mentioned something. There is always a lot of nuances to being an entrepreneur. There is ups, there is downs, there are big swings. Sometimes I've got so many clients, I've got so much work to do that you're working 21 hours. I think it was 2018 in December. I had slowly gained many pounds. I was 220 pounds, and I was working probably 12-ish hours a day. And this is what would happen. I would come home, and I would sit down on the couch after a long, hard day and literally drink 6 beers every night. The kids would come up to me. They would be like, "Hey, play with me." And I'm like, "I can't play with you. I'm too tired. I'm too worn out. And I just need to zone out. I just need, to calm down after a long day."
Mm-hmm.
And I went to a mastermind, and I remember getting up in December of 18 in front of everybody, and like my business was doing really well, and I didn't know what to talk about. And it came out of nowhere. I finally got up, and I just said, I don't want to talk about my business. I just want to talk about my kids. Like, I'm not there for my kids. I'm gaining all this weight. I haven't exercised in however long. All I want to do, because I'm working so many hours, is just zone out. And I feel like I'm a bad dad, and I feel like I'm a bad example. And anyway, a lot of people resonated with me at the time. So over the course of a couple of days, I had a whole bunch of people coming up to me and just giving me all sorts of examples, making challenges. And I tried to do a few of those challenges. And one of the biggest ones that I did was gratitude. And it was interesting because I was resenting my kids. I was saying to myself, I had this story that I didn't realize until that day.
Uh-huh.
I had this story of my kids are holding me back. Like, if I didn't have kids, then I would be able to work even more hours a week. I'd be able to make even more money. I'd be even more successful. And I just remember noticing that bad pattern of me telling myself a story that was not true and resenting them for not being more. And what I started doing instead was I started every single morning, with exception, almost every single morning and almost every single night, I would just focus on how grateful I was to have the children. This is a blessing, and this changed my life. It's what I've always wanted. Why would I feel that way? They're awesome, and they're such amazing kids. And even though I wasn't treating them well and giving them the attention that they deserved, they were amazing. They taught me unconditional love. And so anyway, I just started practicing that one thing, and I just said, "Hey, I've got to make some changes." And so I tried really hard not to buy those 30 packs of beer, drinking 5 to 6 every single night. And I read this book while I was shoveling snow, because I started listening to books. It was The One Thing by Gary Keller.
Yeah.
And he talked about this idea of there's no balance. So Gary Carroll is trying to tell me that I need to be all in when I'm with my sweetheart, all in when I'm with my kids, all in when I'm at work. And so I just started using little things from the book Compound Effect, little things from the One Thing, and trying to be a more present dad and a more grateful dad. And I worked less hard. I exercised more. I drank less. I played with my kids more, and I made an extra $600,000 on top of the year before, which is kind of freaking awesome. So, yeah.
That's it. Man, there's so much to unpack there, Adam. And number one, I want to acknowledge you, obviously publicly, for just having so much courage, man, to share your story, because you're not alone. I think if we're being honest, most parents can relate to not being fully present with their children. One last thing before you go, if you have been listening to the show for a while and or you have been getting value from the show, I would be 100% honored if you would share this show with a friend, or maybe share it with somebody that you think could benefit from this. It's my mission, it's my cause, it's my purpose through Flip Empire to impact and touch people's lives, to help people and in their businesses. So it would be an honor if you would be willing to share this episode. And one last thing, make sure that you're subscribed so that you get notified every Monday and Thursday when shows get released. I look forward to connecting with you on the next one. Until then, have a great day.